Hi, let's partially strip the inside of my 68 Camaro today. And by partially stripped, I mean there really wasn't much to begin with. So let me show you what I mean. So exactly how it looks right now is how I got the car. So there's no carpeting, there's no rear seat. It only has these two seats. It has a steering wheel. It has a partial dash because it is missing quite a few things, and it doesn't have any door panels either. I would like to remove the doors just like I did with the Mustang, but this is my problem. There is nothing here towards the rear, so that's why I still have the doors on, and I also have the battery here just to give it some weight, because if I don't have that, then I'm afraid it'll just tip over. So first, I'm going to start off by removing the two front seats just because I feel like they're in the way, and that way I can just have more space to work with here in the front. So it's simple. They just have 4 bolts. So I'm starting with the 2 here in the rear. And you know, one thing that I couldn't be happier about was remove these seats because they are old, they are crusty, uncomfortable, they're falling apart. So goodbye to these seats, and I can't wait once I'm done with the car, which will take some time, and then get some new ones that are comfortable, I can adjust, and just feel and look so much better. I feel like it's a good and bad thing that the interior was already partially gutted. It's good because now it just saves me time and I just have to remove a few things. But at the same time, I guess, you know what, no, I guess it's good overall, because even if it did have the interior, then it probably wouldn't have been in a good shape, and I'll still have to replace it anyway. I'm looking forward for it having carpeting, because this bare metal is definitely not for me. Just doesn't give it that like nice feeling inside. So now just the other 2 bolts remaining here in the front. And another good thing about it not having the carpeting is that I can pretty much just see the interior, the condition that it is. The carpeting, it can kind of be a little bit deceiving, at least when like looking at the car to buy it, especially if you're not there in person or you don't know what to look for. Like this was my second classic. And these floorboards definitely need some work, but I already knew that from the pictures. And the reason I'm using a ratcheting wrench is because usually I would use a cordless, but there's no clearance here, so it doesn't fit. But it's not too bad because these aren't on here too tight. A thought just occurred to me. I don't know if once I remove these 2 front seats, it's going to unbalance the car, just because I'm removing even more weight off the front. But hopefully not. Hopefully it just keeps it nice and balanced, at least for me to be able to do everything in the front. And then perhaps I can just add some weight, like some tires or sandbags or something. They are a little heavy, and I need to add this to my pile of just spare parts here. I just wanted to show you my junkyard of just spare parts. Mostly Mustang. Obviously these are the Camaro wheels. I have the seats that I'll just have here. All Mustang. That is the Camaro diff. This is all Mustang. And then the Camaro subframe. I do have more parts over there and on that side, but these are all the majority of them. I'm still not sure which seats I plan to go with. I originally thought maybe just go with like some OEM Camaro seats, but now I'm thinking I feel like it would fit the look better of going with bucket seats and a harness. I'm still not sure yet. I'm still trying to make up my mind on that, and I still have quite a bit of a long way to go before I even get to the seats. I need to do the interior, which I originally planned to just redo the entire interior, make it look really, really nice. Probably like as much OEM as I could, but now I'm kind of thinking maybe I should go another route with that too. I do want to, obviously this has rust, I need to fix the floorboards, put carpeting, but I don't know as far as I'm going to go with it because it's missing just so much, and I just don't know if it's worth it. So I'm still debating that in my mind, but again, I have a long way to go until then. Moment of truth, if once I remove this seat, it'll throw it off balance. Well, I guess it didn't. Good thing I have the battery there too. So I looked at quite a few YouTube videos to removing the dash, and normally I would have a lot of stuff to remove, but this is what I mean, that it's just so bare. I don't have any radio, anything here. The glove box, there's no box in there. So it's pretty much just the steering column, the gauges, and the dash pad, and that's it. To get this base off, this is pretty much what covers the firewall to the steering column. There's 2 on each side and then 1 all the way to the top. So now the last bolt. Okay. There's also a clamp here. It has 2 bolts that hold it. This one's pretty easy to get to. This other one, well, I can just move this. Luckily I have just enough space. And then the clamp easily comes off. That's just that part. So now this bracket, it has 4 bolts. Once I remove these 4 bolts, it's still not going to fall because there's still other bolts that need to be removed. And that's why I did the base first, because if I did this, then it would fall off from just here. So I would suggest doing the base first. So there's still 2 more bolts for this bracket. I still don't think it's going to fall. I don't know, it might or might not, but once I get to the second bolt, I will support it because I don't want it to fall on my head. You know what? That just lowered it. All right, maybe it just might. Okay. Such an awkward angle. Yeah, that, nope. So it still has these, just has 1 more bolt here. Another thing that I'm glad that's coming off are these gauges because I do not plan to keep these. There's only 1 more bolt that's keeping this here. You know, that's so weird. I don't know why it doesn't have another one. This almost feels like, well, it is like an L bracket. So I would definitely do that one first and then the other 2. Okay. Before I pull the steering column, I need to remove these gauges. And it's just the clamp that they're on. It was so loose I can just do this with my finger because these are still connected and I do not want to cut these connections right now. Now we're done with probably the most annoying part of this interior removal. And now we have a lot more space, the steering column. So other than the connections for those gauges is also this kind of like weird U clip that I haven't seen before. This cover for the gauges is supposed to have 7 screws. It only has 1. I don't understand. Whatever, it is what it is. It certainly won't have 1 when I put this back on. Okay, so now I just need to disconnect the light up here. So the clip for the gauges, and now just removing this light. Looks like it was unaligned, so I don't even think that light was even showing through here. It's just being a little annoying. Okay, there we go. This center cover for the radio and the accessories, it was supposed to have what it seems like 4 screws. It only has 2. All of them are down here, so I definitely will reuse this. Oh, that was easy. Oh, where is it? The easiest side panel removal is this. Just came right off. Now the last thing is the dash pad, and I've seen the videos. I know that people are very meticulous when it comes to removing this, but my dash pad, it's like cracked all the way here. It feels very brittle, so this has been sitting out in the sun for quite some time. So I'm not going to be too careful when removing this because I plan on buying a new one. And all the screws are here, but of course it's missing quite a bit. I think it was supposed to have maybe like about 6 or something. There's only 3. You know, the only good thing about this Camaro is that it is a lot cleaner than the Mustang, which I appreciate. Instead of finding just a whole bunch of rat shit and just a whole bunch of peanuts and branches, twigs, leaves inside, this just clean with nothing, just filled with rust. I guess that's the trade-off. This is definitely a new screw. Look how nice and shiny and not rusted it looks. So now the second one out of 3. And now looking at all of them closer, I can tell that they're all new because just looking by this color, I can tell that they've been replaced. I just don't know why they didn't add all of them. And then the third one is all the way here. That's the last one. So now I can start just coming out surprisingly easy. Okay, so let me loosen the other side. I saw videos of people struggling with the dash pad, but and I was like dreading removing this, but wow, look how easy that was. See all the cracks down there. So apparently they changed the dash and then they replaced it with this new one because look how shiny it looks. It looks brand new. From seeing all the other YouTube videos with the Gen 1 Camaros, their dash certainly did not look like this. So, you know, at least that's one good thing for this car. Another thing is that I'm not going to reuse these gauges. I promise you I'm not. But for now, I'm going to leave them there because it seems like this car's harness was heavily modified. I am not going to cut any wires here. So before I do anything, I want to just trace all of these cables and wires. So I'm just going to leave that here for now. So the whole point of removing everything is because look at this shit right here. Mainly this. So they cut through the transmission tunnel and then just did a big hole and added fiberglass there. That's going to be fixed. I am not going to have a hole there. I'm going to replace all of these floorboards too, but I'm definitely going to encounter an issue because these two sections right here are not stock, so they added these. So, you know, I have my work cut out for myself. So what's next for the Camaro? A lot of cutting, a lot of welding, more cutting, more welding until I'm satisfied with the outcome. Bye.